There are memories that stay with us for years, moments that make us think, if only I had done something differently, or this all my fault. These thoughts can quietly follow us every day, affecting our confidence, our relationships, and our ability to fully enjoy life. Guilt and shame are among the most powerful emotions we can experience. We often believe that by replaying them over and over, we are somehow making up for the past. In reality, we are only extending our own suffering. Robert Smith often reminds us that the greatest transformation does not come from changing the past. That is impossible. It comes from changing the relationship we have with ourselves. When we become our own harshest critic, many people find it easier to forgive others than to forgive themselves. We understand that other people acted under pressure, lacked experience, or simply did the best they could with what they knew at the time. Yet we rarely offer ourselves the same compassion. Instead of understanding, we become our own harshest critic. We replay our mistakes, relive the pain, and continue punishing ourselves as though we deserve it. The truth is that the person who made that decision years ago no longer exists. Since then, you have gained new experiences, new knowledge, and a different perspective on life. Judging your past self using today's wisdom is simply not fair. Guilt often hides something deeper. In faster EFT, it is often discovered that guilt is only the surface emotion. Beneath it lies something much deeper: grief, helplessness, fear, or the wish that life had turned out differently. Sometimes we blame ourselves for not saving someone, for not saying the right words, or for not noticing something important. Yet we acted with the knowledge and resources we had at that moment. None of us can predict the future. If we continually tell ourselves that we failed, our minds begin creating an identity built around guilt. We start believing that we do not deserve happiness, peace, or forgiveness. That belief is what keeps us trapped in the past. Forgiveness is not the same as excusing. Many people resist forgiving themselves because they believe it means excusing their mistakes. In reality, forgiveness is something entirely different. Forgiveness does not mean saying that everything was acceptable. It means accepting that the past cannot be changed and choosing to stop fighting against it. It is not about avoiding responsibility. It is about letting go of a burden that no longer serves any purpose. Imagine a conversation with your younger self. One powerful way to work with deep emotions is to imagine having a conversation with the person you once were. What would you say to that younger version of yourself today? Would you truly condemn them? Or would you embrace them and remind them that they made the best decision they could with the awareness they had at the time? Sometimes this simple shift in perspective releases emotions that had been carried for decades. Not because we forget what happened, but because we finally stop fighting against ourselves. Every transformation begins within. Robert Smith often says that the real problem is not the memory itself, but the meaning we continue attaching to it. When our inner dialogue changes, the way we experience our lives begins to change as well. This does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending nothing happened. It means allowing yourself to feel the pain, understand it, and then gently let it go. That is where space opens for greater peace, self-compassion, and opportunities that were once hidden beneath the weight of guilt. Freedom begins with forgiving yourself. Every person has made decisions they would make differently today. That is not proof of failure. It is evidence that we have grown, learned, and evolved. True freedom does not come from changing the past. It comes from no longer punishing yourself for being the person you used to be. Perhaps today is the perfect moment to ask yourself one simple question. If someone you deeply loved had lived through the same story, would you forgive them? If the answer is yes, perhaps it is finally time to offer yourself the same kindness. If you would like to explore emotional healing, personal growth, and the principles of faster EFT more deeply, you can find additional resources and ebooks that may support your journey. Enter my store.